I'm Sarah Bernard, and we're back with Tricia Rowland Hamilton of Magdalene St. Louis and author Christine McDonald. Christine, we've been talking about your book, Cry Purple, which was released just this past February.
Yes, ma'am.
6 months now.
Yes,
sales are coming in, I'm sure.
Yes.
As word is getting out. And the book really it details your life on the streets.
Yes.
And your arrests and addictions and all the different things that happened to you as a teenager here in the Midwest.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're now in St. Louis.
Yes.
What brought you to St. Louis?
Well, they're kind of personal reasons. After 103 arrests, 7 trips to prison, I turned my life around, and I was on the streets of Kansas City, Missouri, for my journey of prostitution and addiction, and I came here for family purposes, and to kind of needed a new beginning. I wanted my child to have an opportunity to go to a good school and have good opportunities. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you're here now, and you're helping Tricia with the start of Magdalene St. Louis. So, and so you have bring your personal journey to that experience to help these women. And
yes,
I bet you are excited and inspired to get going with these young women.
Yes, ma'am. When I was changing my life and trying to find services, there just weren't. I mean, you go to treatment for 30 days and it just isn't enough when you're dealing with sexual trauma, Stockholm syndrome, sometimes that people have with their pimps or their traffickers, and there's just so many dynamics. It's not just a one-size-fits-all. It's a holistic approach that has to be made for these women to be able to successfully integrate back into mainstream society and become productive members. So when I heard about Magdalene, and I had a trip to go to Nashville, and I heard about the success rate, I mean, 72% is just insane, 2.5 years after graduation for these women.
Yeah.
And so when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm right here, how can I be a part of this? And, we kind of connected and we talked, and I have just kind of been able to jump in, and now I'm honored to be on the board of directors and be able to help be a voice, because I've experienced what these very women we are reaching out to right here on the streets of St. Louis, and what they need.
Yeah. And Tricia, what is working well in Nashville that you're going to bring from that experience here to St. Louis?
Basically everything about the Magdalene program in Nashville will be replicated here. It's also being replicated in a number of other cities, one being New Orleans. They've had a house open, Eden House, for a year now. The other component in Magdalene, about 10 years ago in Nashville, they realized that many of the women coming into the program couldn't find a regular job because of their felony convictions. And so they started their own social enterprise called Thistle Farms. And that's where they have actually taken the ugly thistle weed with the beautiful purple flower and have made it into these absolutely wonderful products by hand. So the women are expected, after 4 months in the program, to start working on their GED, if that's a necessity, or start looking for other opportunities for work. So Thistle Farms creates, the women themselves create products. You can see here, they hand make coasters, and all of these products are made out of the thistle.
So lots of things, body butter and soap, and
they make their own paper out of thistle. This is a new item this year. It's a Christmas ornament. Their candles are poured by hand. We've been fortunate enough to be able to tour their facility in Nashville a few times, and it's an amazing process.
So these items are available to the public to purchase from the Thistle Farms website.
Yes, it will also be our first social enterprise here in St. Louis will be as a distributor of Thistle Farms products until we make a decision with the original class of women that come in into our home what social enterprise we might like to enter into.
Okay, so your group of women might decide to do something totally different.
Yes.
How exciting, but these look like great products. I think this is a good way to start. Looks good to me, and they smell good, so that's great. So your plan right now, Tricia, you've got about an 8-month plan before you open, and in the meantime, if people want to help in any way, what kind of help are you specifically looking for?
We're seeking a number of volunteers. As you might guess, with any kind of new 501c3 organization, we have a lot of tasks ahead of us. So we've actually really tapped into our volunteer pool quite regularly, and are always seeking volunteers. I think particularly once we have a house, that's when we'll need some manpower.
Right. And so February is the hopeful date for the house. Okay. And then a few months after that, you'll be ready, open for business, selling Thistle Farms products to St. Louisans. So
and
thank
healing
you
women.
And healing women along the way, which is a great mission for you and for all of us. So big thanks to Tricia Rowland Hamilton and Christy McDonald for joining us today. Up next, we'll learn more about United Cerebral Palsy Heartland and some fun ways that we can help them out right now. Stay with us.